Hello friends, welcome back to Graz Reviews. I'm Graz, and this is SimCity. So this is the reboot of the wildly popular series of SimCity, and it came with a ton of hype, but it also had a lot of shortcomings. So we'll go ahead and take a look at it. Now this review has actually been redone. I want to be more fair and balanced to the game instead of the last version. So we'll go ahead and dive right on in. First thing I have to say though is that this is always on DRM, which means whether you want to play single player, multiplayer, or whatever, you have to have internet. If not, then that's a bit of a problem. So when launch day came and all those servers were full, just imagine how many people could not play this game. Yeah, that was very problematic to say the least. So that was one of the big incidents that EA had with SimCity. If you have friends on the Origin network, you can go ahead and link up with them and do some multiplayer fun. For this account, I do not have any friends on here, so that is a bit of a thing. With always on DRM, they say that it's mainly for friends and other processes within the game. I don't see what processes require you to be online for a single player game, though EA did not go into any depth on that, so it's kind of disturbing to say the least. DRM is not a very popular way to go with a lot of gamers. So first and foremost, this is your city layout. You can easily scroll in and out with your mouse wheel to zoom in and zoom out. Very simple. If you press down on the mouse wheel, you can actually do altercation like different views and angles. The graphics are very impressive to say the least for a sim game, so they are the highest one to date. No kidding, right? You have a very simple layout to the bottom where you have roads, you can do zones, you can do utilities and whatnot. Now, the thing about some of these cities, the one thing I don't like is the fact that they seem rather small compared to what you can do in the past. I wish there was a way you can make it bigger, but it is what it is. Basically, each city is stuck to with a certain distance in a region. Now, region, you will have different cities for different players. You'll have, if you want to play more cities, you can have more cities within a region. If not, then, well, they're there for you. Friends if they join you or whatnot. Okay, so this is just another one of the many quests you'll eventually get within your city. And yeah, as you can see, our budget is taking a downfall, to say the least. Now, one of the other problems that came with this game when it was originally out, where there were many bugs, very many bugs. One of them was the traffic bug that would cause many of your cars to go in circles. It would cause long traffic jams. Buildings would burn down due to the lack of the fire department getting there, Sims would die, and so on. As you can see, we have all kinds of congestion down here. And one of the biggest things you will have is where, cars having U-turns right here. They would do a lot of that, like 3 or 5 times. It got to be very annoying to say the least, as you could clearly see right there. So that was many of the bugs. Some people to have claimed that they can build cities without roads and achieve perfect happiness. That's a bit of a thing, seeing how roads carry your power, your sewage, and your water and everything. So how that's even possible, nobody even knows. One big thing about cities is that it can be specialized. You can have mining, you can have drilling for oil, you can have trade, you can have electronics, you can also have culture or tourism, basically gambling, but tourism runs into gambling and culture and different things as well. But basically, each city can have a specialization. The specialization I got a lot of money out of was the oil well, the drilling. It's very, very profitable, and they have these little buttons off to the side here that say guide me. You can actually use them to where they will give you hints along the way. Oh, and there we have a tornado. Ain't that lovely? Well, we're about to say bye-bye to that oil well, but that is a bit of a thing. So you don't have to be stuck to just these ones down here. You can go ahead and build an education city if you so choose. You can do various different specializations. As soon as we pull up the proper button, as that tornado just continues to tear stuff apart. Go figure. Okay, we apparently got an achievement for that. As you can see, we have a guide me button down there for education, to which we can do more stuff with. Disasters do make an appearance in this game as well, but they weren't easily gotten as they were before. They come in the form of achievements. So if you want to go ahead and summon a tornado, you have to have a bunch of wind turbines. Or if you want to go ahead and summon the monster, in this case the big lizard, you have to go ahead and have landfills and incinerators. Having the incinerators to keep the garbage down is a must. There are other disasters you can get as well, but as you can see, yes, you have to be able to unlock them with different achievements in order to get them. So that's a little bit of annoying. Now, I can see having like some of your basics unlocked, like tornado, earthquake, and such, but you know, you'd want to have some locked as well. Instead, they have them all locked, and the only way to unlock them is to go ahead and basically play the game. Eventually, you may get lucky and unlock a few of them. We'll take a quick look at the settings screen over here. As you can see, you can change your screen resolution. There's no surprise, right? Full screen, you can change the lighting and textures if your video card is having issues or your computer isn't able to handle it. Various different things, geometry, animation detail, tilt shift, anti-aliasing, which is almost a requirement in almost every game it seems, frame rate, VSync, brightness, and filter. Audio settings pretty much basic, right down to music, effects, volume, or you can just mute them all with a simple click of the button. Gameplay itself, always display the city boundary. You can always have that on video capture resolution if you want to capture video within the game client itself. Hide UI, planning mode camera, edge scrolling, so on and so forth. So settings aren't too complicated, especially audio. They're right down to the basics. Gameplay seems okay. Graphics are right for the most part if you need to downshift some of your stuff if your computer's having a hard time. Other than that, they're pretty decent. So the real big kicker with this was basically the DRM pretty much caused so much panic the first week this game was released. There should be no reason why a game with this much hype that was built up and this much advertising, I should say, that they weren't able to get people on there. They only had maybe less than a half a dozen servers available. They might have had, what, like 6 servers? That was pretty inexcusable. You can't have that amount. Whether the number was right or wrong, you got to be prepared for large amounts of people. This was out in magazines. This was out in internet ads. This was out in like YouTube video ads. It was everywhere. And yet they still managed to drop the ball. Bugs, the traffic bug, some other bugs. These things are inexcusable. This is why you have QA. Quality assurance should be able to go back and say, hey, we have a problem with this. What's going on? How do we fix this? Instead, these things continue to make their way into the game. And after a while, many excited simmers who started playing eventually just got irritated and put the game down. So for $59, basically $60, you got a game that should have been a little bit more polished. No, it really should have been more polished, to say the least. So, like I said, I'm trying to stay fair and balanced with this review, but at times, it's very bad because I just feel like EA, for what they can do, just really dropped the ball on this one. Now, it's not a total waste. It's a good game, and for an overall review, I'll give it a 2.5 out of 5. For all the bugs it's worth, and, you know, for all the server issues they've had, the game does serve a basic purpose of entertainment. You can get some joy out of it, especially if you're one of those big sim fans who love playing these games. For the most part, it's a lot about city planning and trying to find the right spots to do things. Roads control how zones grow. Putting light roads down will make light zones. Putting heavier zones down make heavier zones. But ultimately, EA and Maxis continue to put out patch fixes to hopefully fix their problem. But I feel like the damage to this game's already been done. So, 2.5 out of 5. And, well, they are still putting content out for it. It's in the form of free content, I should say. Nissan, you can get a Nissan building down here for electric cars. It's nice. It's ultimately paid for by Nissan because they're getting their name in the game. And I believe there's another one for Crest and Oral-B. They have some buildings or some monuments they're throwing out there as well. It's kind of annoying to see that. It's nice to have free content, but it's also kind of annoying because ultimately, you know, you're getting advertisement in your game. So it depends on how you feel about that as well. Anyway, I'm Graz. This has been another Graz Reviews. SimCity, high expectations, fell short. Is it complete wash? No, I wouldn't say it's complete wash. but it's still decent entertainment. If I had to, I would pick it up on a cheaper price, though. I would not pay the full $59.95. I would probably pay around $30 or $40. Anyway, have yourselves a wonderful day. If not, then just simply fake it. I'll see you all again next time.